What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. Let me just get the camera down a little bit here. It's better. And I guess welcome to the second review for the 31 Days of Horror Challenge in October. Got a lot of really nice comments on the first review I did for Q the Winged Serpent, so thank you very much for your kind comments. Like Julie and Rob and Jason, new subscriber of mine on here, Katie, and I think that they were the ones that commented back. I'm sure I'll probably get some more on there, but really glad you are enjoying so far the marathon. Now we're getting on to day 2 for the movie number 2 for the month of October, and I figured I'd talk about a very underrated found footage horror film. And like I said before, like in the other videos, or in the beginning video when I announced I was doing this, that I was going to keep the movies a surprise. So now getting onto this one, you can tell by the title of the video what it's going to be on. And it's one of the more underrated found footage horror films, and it's one of the better ones too, and that is Hangman. Who you fear is already inside. Hangman was a film that I think 2015 this film came out. Now, for me personally, when it comes to found footage horror films, there's usually a lot of really bad ones, and I can name you some. The Devil Inside. I think Devil's Due was another one that was found footage, pretty bad. The new Blair Witch that came out in 2016. I believe that was. I think they consider that found footage. I think, but other ones that I just didn't like. There's just a lot of really bad. Really bad found footage horror films. This is not one of them, in my opinion. I know this might not be everybody's cup of tea, things like that, when it comes to found footage stuff. Honestly, I like this film better than any of the Paranormal Activity films, even the first one. You know, I know this is going to be kind of a controversial opinion, but I was never into the Paranormal Activity films. I never cared for the first one. I kind of thought the first one was a little overrated. I never understood the hype the first one got, and I didn't care for the sequels. But that's just me, though. I mean, if you like those films, that's fine. I know I'm probably in the minority of not liking the first Paranormal Activity. I know Rob likes it, and Alex, and things like that. I'm not one of them. Just me, though. I hated the way that it ended. I thought, like, you know, I didn't really care for the alternate endings. I thought, like, the whole when they called like a psychic who's kind of, I think that subplot was kind of pointless, and one of those like typical like found footage ways where it ends with a jump scare with the face going at the screen like this, and I can go on and on about Paranormal Activity, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this one, Hangman. The reason why I say it's one of the better found footage horror films is it's a really creepy idea. And I can actually see this kind of happening in real life, sadly. And I've had like some kind of terrible like thoughts of like something like this happening. Because if you don't know what the idea of Hangman is about, it's basically about this family going on a vacation. The mom is played by Kate Ashfield, who I know her name sounds familiar, but I cannot remember for sure what she was in, but I know I've heard her name before. I'm pretty sure I'm going to find out what she's in after I do this video. And the dad is Jeremy Sisto, who's been in a lot of stuff. He was in 6 Feet Under, he was in The First Wrong Turn, Clueless, he was in quite a few other stuff too, Jeremy Sisto. And they have, you know, they're a family, they have some kids, and they're going away on a vacation. They go to the airport and things like that, and like in the distance you see this guy that you see, you can't really see him, but you see this guy kind of spying on them from afar in the parking lot in his car. And what he does is when they park their car at the airport parking lot to go get their flight, this creepy guy right here goes into their car, breaks into their car, and turns on the GPS and figures out where the family lives at, and he drives their car to their home, and he breaks into their house, and he basically walls himself inside their home, and he puts cameras all over the place, and he basically waits for the family to come back home from vacation. And then when the family gets back, like, this guy at nighttime is creeping around, stalking them and watching them sleep and seeing what their activities are. Like, he pokes these holes through the walls and watches their every movement, and he records everything, things like that. You can kind of see, like, these images back here. And that's basically what Hangman is about. Now, like I said before, it's a really creepy idea, because, like, you know, imagine yourself, like, sleeping at one night and not knowing, like, when you're in a deep sleep and you're fast asleep, things like that, you can't really hear anything and things like that. What if you're in a deep sleep and you have no idea that someone may be watching you over your own bed? I mean, just spying on you with a video camera. Like, this person just breaks into your home, goes into your GPS, finds out where you live, walls himself into the home, puts security and video cameras all over the place, and starts spying on you at night when you're sleeping and things like that. And eventually it gets worse and worse with each night. It starts terrorizing the family and things like that. And I think you can kind of guess how it ends, because they actually say it on the back of this Blu-ray. It actually kind of it pretty much tells you how it ends, pretty much. But with every found footage horror film, you can kind of guess how it ends, because a lot of found footage films end the same way, pretty much, except for like a few, like As Above, So Below had a little bit of a different ending, things like that, which I also like that one too. Now, yeah, but this is the reason why I say I like this better than, like, Paranormal Activity or things like that. I just think, you know, Paranormal Activity, I get, was a simple formula, and there are some good scenes in the first Paranormal Activity, but this though, to me, is a more creepier idea, where some person could just break into your house, wall himself into your home, spy on you with a camera at night, watching you sleep, and they have no idea that you're even there. Like, you have yourself hidden, you're sneaking around, you're being quiet, you're recording their every move, you're following their every move, and you eventually end up terrorizing them and things like that. I just think this is a much more interesting concept, and it's a much more creepy concept, in my opinion. And it didn't really have any, like, that cheap boo scare thing like Paranormal Activity did, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't care for that. I like this better. Like, I like these creepy images, like, especially you can see that image there of the guy literally just standing there looking at one of the cameras. There's a scene right there where he's spying on the mom and dad when they sleep and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all these reviews. The horror show, Hangman, is truly creepy. An effectively creepy spin on found footage horror. Terrifying. I can agree with all those. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see a really creepy idea for a found footage horror film, you want to see one of the more underrated found footage horror films and one of the better ones, I would highly recommend you check this out as soon as you can. I think the cast does a great job. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Sisto. Always thought he was a really solid actor, especially in films like Wrong Turn, things like that. Kate Ashfield does a good job as well, and like I said, the guy, just the creepy character in this, like, in a way, he has like this, like, mask over his face, not like a mask, but like kind of like a bag over his, like one of those, like, plastic sleeve looking things that kind of like robbers wear. In a way, it kind of reminded me of, like, if Jason wore the potato sack he wore from Part 2, and he broke into someone's home and spied on them in a found footage style. Is pretty much what this guy reminds me of. and I think it's really well directed by Adam Mason, which I don't know what he's done since then or has done before this, but I think it's a pretty solid, underrated found footage horror film, and if you can get your hands on this, and if you like found footage, you want to see more of a different kind of like found footage horror film and things like that. I mean, my favorite found footage horror film is still going to be the Blair Witch Project, no doubt about it. But if you want to see one of the more underrated ones and a really creepy idea, I would highly recommend you check this out. And so that is pretty much it for my review for Hangman. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.